Hello and welcome to Stocks to Watch, where you can hear the stories right from company insiders to help you identify promising investment opportunities. I am Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host, and joining me today is Sophy Cesar, the head of corporate development at Canadian North Resources, a company that is developing the highly prospective Ferguson Lake property, which contains deposits of copper, cobalt, nickel, and platinum group metals, among others. The company is publicly traded on the TSX Venture Exchange as CNRI, on the OTCQX as CNRSF, and on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as EO0. Sophy, welcome again on the show.
Hi, Munir. Thanks for having me back.
Hi. So, CNRI recently published a recap of the key milestones and accomplishment that the company has achieved in the second quarter of 2024. Let's start by discussing the operational side of the update. You filed the new national instrument, the 43101 technical report. Can you briefly remind our viewers what you have learned so far about the Ferguson Lake property and the resources on it?
So we've talked about our 43101 mineral resource before in the past, but I think the key takeaways that we want investors to remember is that approximately 80% of that indicated resource is suitable for open pit mining. And that provides a strong foundation for the initial development of a large scale mine. So what does that mean? That means that there's an opportunity with this project for a large-scale mining development. And we've talked about that in the past with a strategic partner that we would love to find and then build that relationship and build out that mine. And just to remind our listeners, the project includes large deposits of copper, nickel, cobalt, platinum, and palladium. So all of this that's very important for the EV and clean, technology market that we see developing so much. And, we still stand by it. We believe that we are one of the biggest, most significant underdeveloped projects of its kind in North America.
Yeah, the opportunity is really big, and there are several minerals there that you've already discovered, and the open pit approach is cost effective. And speaking of the approach, you mentioned the use of new technologies like bio-hydrometallurgy in metallurgical testing. How do those innovations position CNRI in terms of cost efficiency and sustainability compared to other traditional methods?
Well, bio-hydrometallurgy, which uses biological processes to extract minerals, gives CNRI a significant advantage. It's more environmentally friendly than compared to traditional smelting processes. It has the potential to reduce energy consumption and lower costs. So I think that's key, especially considering we are in northern Canada and it is, could be considered a remote area. We do have excellent infrastructure. And we are working with the local communities at looking at other ways to better that infrastructure. But what's important here is that we're going to reduce energy consumption and we're going to lower that CapEx cost. So that innovation aligns with our commitment to sustainability by minimizing carbon footprint and enhancing the long-term operational efficiencies.
Very impressive. And let's look into the future. Now, what are the next steps planned for the remainder of this year on this property?
Well, for the rest of 2024, we plan to continue with geological and geophysical programs to identify new exploration targets, particularly along the 15-kilometer mineralized horizon. And we're looking at additional zones like the M zone and the West zone extension. We actually have a team currently up on site. They are working on, the consultation with the local community. We're also doing site visits. So they're currently there on site. We look forward to having news from them to be able to share with our investors. We also plan on following up with our metallurgical testing And all of this leading in the environmental studies as well, all of this leading to the economic evaluation, which we hope to begin, in the next several months.
A lot is happening, really, and we look forward to hearing more about this work. Let's look at the financial aspect of your update. CNRI reported cash and cash equivalents of $3.78 million. Will those reserves go to exploration activities, or are there other categories that those funds are earmarked for?
Well, as you might have seen recently, we were awarded some funds from the government to handle community engagement, which is currently what we're doing. So, I mean, we have funds that are able to further that, the community engagement and metallurgical testing. And then, we're in the process of evaluating what we're going to do in terms of financing options in the future and how that's all going to look as we move to that economic study that I mentioned.
And that speaks a lot to the work you're doing, receiving this grant. One development that caught my attention was that in April, the company announced that it had filed a notice of intention to make a normal course issuer bid with the TSX Venture Exchange, which typically suggests that there is a belief that the company is undervalued. So, what makes the management and board confident in this assessment?
Well, that's a good point, and it kind of leads to your previous question. I don't. When we talk about financing, we believe that we're completely undervalued. So any financing at these levels would, be. It's not what we're looking to do. So the board of management believes that the market hasn't fully recognized the value of the Ferguson Lake project. With the high grade and large mineral resource. And we believe there's a substantial upside potential for resource expansion combined exactly with our innovative technologies like the bio-hydrometallurgy. We believe that we're perfectly positioned for that market right now. So it's our long-term belief that we're undervalued, and that's what led to the decision of these repurchasing of the shares with the NCIB.
There is a lot of upside potential, as you mentioned, and the opportunity is there. There are reports that show the opportunity very clearly. But when it comes to investment, there's always the question of timing. So my question is, why is now the right time to invest in Canadian North Resources?
That's a great question. Well, as I just mentioned, we believe we're undervalued. So we believe there's a lot of place for us to increase that value in the company, given the extensive work that we've completed on the Ferguson Lake project, significantly increasing that mineral resource. We're almost at 100 million tons. The ongoing expansion, the ongoing exploration to expand that resource. And at the same time, while still keeping our eyes on focusing on ESG, so sustainable, low carbon footprint, working with these, new technologies, engaging with the community, and exactly that, the right time in this industry to, prepare for that need that there's going to be, that demand there's going to be in the market for these minerals. So we believe it's an attractive opportunity at this time based on that and what's going on globally. So, we would tell investors, I would tell investors to really have a look, to do their due diligence, to watch our videos, because we've chatted about this before in the past. And it's a really good time for that entry point for investors right now.
I've been following CNRI's story, and I know that you are very dedicated to expanding this resource in addition to sustainability and community relationships. Thank you so much, Sophy Cesar, the head of corporate development at CNRI, for sharing all of those updates and insights with us. We hope to see you again on this show very soon.
Of course, Munir. Thank you for having me.